Hello, welcome to this month's slightly delayed community hangout session. If you're here, do say hello in the chat. I'd love to see who's here getting involved as well. A little bit delayed this month. Normally I do this kind of at the beginning of every month, but this time round it was a little bit delayed because I was doing a teaching contract last month. Or last week, sorry. So I was doing some of the teaching work. As a lot of you will know, I teach at General Assembly, and I do that part-time. And sometimes like my weeks get taken up where I'll have like teaching contract, or it might be a slightly longer teaching contract. And I will kind of need to focus on that because when I'm teaching, it's pretty full on. So with this last week and a couple of weeks before that, I was doing some teaching contracts. And it was great. I absolutely love them. But whenever I'm doing them now, I always just can't wait to get back to Frontend Mentor and actually kind of working back on Frontend Mentor, being more involved in the community and this kind of stuff. I'm always kind of counting down the days in a way towards getting back to all of you. As most of you maybe will now know, that hopefully is now not a problem because as of this week, I am now officially full-time on Frontend Mentor, which I'm so excited about. I can't wait to keep on kind of building Frontend Mentor, but at a faster rate, launch new features, refine current features that already exist on the platform. I'm so excited that I get to kind of spend the days how I want to spend them, focused on Frontend Mentor. And there's no kind of distractions or anything like that, no contract work or anything that's gonna get in the way from now on. So I'm really excited about that. It was amazing seeing the response in the Slack community. It was absolutely brilliant seeing everyone's kind of positivity about it. That was kind of overwhelming positivity, which was absolutely incredible. That's a huge bit of news. I'm still like after last week's teaching gig, I'm still kind of catching up with everything. And this is a problem with all of these contracts. Whenever they do come up, it's not just the time that I'm teaching. It's literally like a bit of the week before that, and then also like normally about half the week after that as well. So it takes up a big chunk of time. But like I said, I can breathe a sigh of relief because now I get to focus on Frontend Mentor full time and building it up. I'm literally so excited. Hello, Saeed and Sharath. How are you both doing? Great to have you in here. I can see, kind of 15 people at the moment. So I'll stop rambling on. Obviously, you can probably see that I'm quite excited about now being kind of fully full-time on Frontend Mentor, making the jump and start to really now refine the platform even more and just spend all of my waking hours as much as possible working on the platform and obviously helping you all achieve your goals of being front-end developers and kind of moving up the ranks as front-end developers. So that's like my biggest piece of news. As always, like with these community hangout sessions, I'll go through kind of what I went through last month, like what we were working on. And then also I'll talk about what we've got kind of coming up this month for you as well. But at the end, we'll do an AMA session. So just an Ask Me Anything session. So please do, like, even though I'll be talking about kind of bits that we did before, like this month or last month and this month. First of all, like, please do feel free to just start asking your questions in the chat, and I'll just get to them as soon as I can at the end. So please do just start firing away with your questions. And then when it comes to the AMA, I'll just start kind of diving in and going one by one and hopefully giving you helpful answers. I'll try my best. So the very first thing that happened this month, Thank you very much for the congratulations. Yeah, I'm like I can't stop smiling this week. So yeah, it feels great. It feels like a bit of a weight off the shoulders. I wasn't actually, sorry to go back to it, but I wasn't actually planning to do it like quite this soon. But in November and last week as well, I was teaching quite a lot, and I was literally just counting down the days until I got back to work on Frontend Mentor. And like that's a surefire sign that I was like, okay, now needs to be the right time. And with subscriptions have been doing very, very, very well so far. I've been so happy with the response to the subscriptions and everything. So I've been like, I thought actually this is a point in time where I can just make the jump and just go for it. So I hadn't fully decided until like midway through last week, really, when I was like just yearning to get back to Frontend Mentor. And then I decided, and now I've committed to it, and it's a big relief, big weight off my shoulders. So I'm really happy. So yeah, sorry, diversion again. Back to last month. So the very first thing, the big thing that happened the first big thing that happened last month was actually converting all of our challenge designs. And this wasn't actually something that I planned to do last month, but we converted all of our sketch designs to also add Figma versions of the designs as well. For our premium challenges, and also for pro members using the free challenges, you've got access to the original design file, which is for every single challenge, whether it's a free challenge or a premium challenge, you've got access to the original design file. This is important because this is how professional front-end developers work. So they would get in the design file, they'd have some design specifications, colors, fonts, all this kind of stuff. But then also they've got this design file where they can really dig into the details and kind of see exactly what the styles are. So there's no guessing. Like with the JPEGs, you're kind of eyeballing it and you're sort of guessing a little bit more. It's a really good exercise with the JPEGs to get that attention to detail just by eyeballing things. But at the same time, it just takes a little bit longer to build the challenges because you're having to do lots of kind of side-by-side comparisons and this kind of thing. Whereas with the design file, this is how the professional developers would be working. So getting to learn how to use a design file is a crucial part of being a professional front-end developer. And so we had offered up until last month only Sketch designs. And this is because Sketch, as it kind of preceded Figma and Adobe XD. It is the most compatible, so it was easy to kind of convert your sketch files and import them into Figma or XD. But there was quite often like some cross-rendering issues and some sometimes the design wouldn't look quite right in XD or in Figma. So it was something that and some people just didn't even know that you could import a sketch file into Figma. So they were just kind of saying, oh, I don't have a Windows, I have a Windows PC, I don't have a Sketch license. I can't use Sketch, so I can't use the premium challenges or the pro subscription. And so I thought, actually, let's just do it. Let's dive in, get the Figma designs in there as well. Spoke to the designer, Kevin, who does all of our designs, amazing designer, and just kind of gauged with him how long it would take. And he was saying that actually it wouldn't be hard at all. And also I was able to do a bunch of the conversions myself as well. A couple of YouTube tutorials and I was good to go. So it ended up taking about a week, which was much shorter time than I thought it would take. So I was really happy with that. And now having those Figma versions of the designs as well, it just means that people can choose. If they've got a Sketch license and a Mac, then great, go for the Sketch. But at the same time, if you don't have a Sketch license, or if you just prefer to use Figma, I mean, Figma in itself is like an unbelievably popular tool now, and it's something that more and more developers and designers are starting to use. So it's definitely a good piece of software to get used to using. And so now Figma, they've got Mac, they've got Windows apps, they've got a free tier, so you don't have to pay anything to use the software. And now whenever you download a design as a pro member, you get both the Sketch and the Figma versions of the design. So you can choose which tool you prefer to use, which is which is great. I'm really happy about that. And also it was a change that added kind of value to the community without actually having to write any code, which is always nice. When there's just something like that where you can just make that change, you don't even need to add any code or anything like that. It was just change the design files, re-upload them all to DigitalOcean Spaces, which is where we host all of our kind of design zip files and everything, and then good to go. So the next thing that we did, so a big one that I was looking at. Hey Mark, good to see you in here. Hello Alex as well. Good to see you here. Amazing. Is that a couple of questions? Oh, cool. Yeah, there's a couple of things I'll definitely be able to dive into there. So yeah, and also do feel free, just keep on firing away with your questions. And hey, Sebastian, just fire away with your questions. And when we get to the AMA, I will get to them and kind of go through them just one by one. So the next thing, so Figma designs, that was a big one. Took much shorter period of time than I was expecting, which is brilliant. The next one was also a fairly small change, which was increasing the credit limits for our monthly pro subscribers. So anyone who's been on the kind of pro, like /pro page, you may have noticed that there's two options. There's monthly subscription and there's a yearly subscription. If you've got a yearly subscription, you've got unlimited access to absolutely everything, like all of the premium challenges, all of the design files for the free challenges, like you've got unlimited everything. However, for the monthly, there's actually credit limits. So kind of similar to like a Audible subscription or something like that, where you can only download a set amount per month. And before last month, it used to be one premium challenge download, and then which comes included with the design file, and then also 2 credits for the free design files. So you get 1 premium credit and 2 design credits. And it was good to start things out and just kind of see like gauge the situation and everything. But I soon kind of realized, and I definitely thought that actually that's quite prohibitive, especially now that we're starting to launch some smaller premium challenges. So before, when we were launching kind of 4 or 5 page websites, like it would take a very long time to get through that entire challenge. But now we're starting to launch some kind of newbie level premium challenges, some junior level premium challenges, and some smaller challenges. So it'd be much easier to move through those challenges at a faster rate. So I decided to bump all of the credits by over 100% in total. So instead of 1 premium challenge credit per month, now you get 2 premium downloads, like premium challenge downloads per month. Instead of 2 design downloads for the free challenges, you now get 5 design downloads. So all in all, kind of more than twice the value, like packed into the monthly subscription, but same price and everything, like kept the price absolutely the same. And if you're a yearly member, you still just get unlimited access to absolutely everything. So yearly, if you can, like that's definitely the best value. You get a 33% saving over the course of the 12 months as well. So it's quite a good sort of discount. But then also monthly, if you prefer just to kind of dip your toe in the water, then monthly now you get kind of extra credits, which is great. So I'm really happy about that. The response has been amazing as well. And so that was another change that I'm kind of really happy to make. Next one. So the next change, which sort of this is one of those things, like when I add this to the site, it's normally like, I don't do this in normal hours. I'll just like put on some movies on a Saturday or something like that, like on the TV, just put on some movies and just do this task, like just over a period of time. And this was adding new resources to the website. So we've got the resources page, which is actually how Frontend Mentor started. Like that was the first thing that I ever put online for front-end developers was a resource list. And then it was like the day after that based on the boost, like the motivational boost that I had from creating that resource list and seeing positive comments about it, I just suddenly had this idea, based on my students at General Assembly, I had this idea for kind of design-led challenges. But the resource list is still a big part of the site. Lots and lots of free resources on there, some paid ones as well, but only ones that I would kind of personally recommend myself. And I'd been kind of building up a bit of a list, a bit of a backlog of resources. And it was one of those tasks that just kept on getting pushed and pushed to the bottom of the pile as far as the priority goes. So I just thought one Saturday, I'm just going to put a bunch of movies on, just go through it and just add some new resources. So I ended up adding over 30 new resources to the page. And if you actually go and read the monthly review article that I put out every month, you'll be able to see the tweet that I added that was like a tweet thread, and it added all of those different resources as well. I also made really good progress. So I'm sure a lot of you will know that I'm about to make some big changes on the website. It will be kind of completely reworking the dashboard at the moment, where you've got the questions and everything. It's going to be more of like a Pinterest-y style layout. You'll get full height versions of people's solution screenshots, and it will hopefully look really, really good. There's also there's a major sort of front-end UX like overhaul that I'm going through, where you'll be able to have like a My Challenges section, as opposed to them being on your profile. It will have like a My Challenges page, and you'll be able to see them they're in progress or completed. You'll also then, with any of those challenges in this My Challenges section, this is another change that I'll be making, I'll be talking about more in a little bit, is that will go through to like a central location for each challenge, which we're going to be calling the challenge hubs. And this will be a central location where you'll be able to see like solutions for a specific challenge, which is like the biggest thing, and a bunch of other stuff. But I'll get to that in a little bit. So I made really good progress with that. Because of the teaching work and everything, I wasn't quite able to get it live, but I'm going to be working on it for the next kind of few days. Hopefully those first round of changes, hopefully for the first round of changes, I'll be able to kind of get them live and get them up over the weekend and get those first changes up there. Hello, Florin. Good to see you, mate. Really good to see you in here. Your first time seeing me on YouTube, maybe. Definitely, it's normally the other way around of me seeing you on YouTube. So these changes, these kind of UX, UI changes, the dashboard now, it's going to be like lots and lots of different posts, but it's going to be more like a timeline. So you'll see the like full height solution screenshots. You'll see people's questions. You'll be able to filter out whether they're asking for help or whether they're not. We're actually going to get rid of the solutions index page completely now. So everything, like all of the solutions, will go through this timeline, which will be really cool. So really excited about that. Made massive progress on it. And also in the monthly review, I've recorded a slightly incoherent 15-minute video at like 6 p.m. on a Friday, where I was just pretty brain dead by the end of the day. So I was mumbling and stumbling over my words a bit. But I recorded that, and that's in the monthly review article as well. And that was also I really enjoyed that way of kind of going through some new features with you as well, and like showing you what I'm building. So actually, I'm going to start doing more and more of that. I've signed up to a Loom subscription, which is like video recording, and you've got your little avatar in the corner. So whenever I'm making like new features or kind of creating new changes and stuff like that, I'll just be posting these videos in the features channel. I might also start posting them on my Twitter account as well, like my personal Twitter account, just to start kind of documenting a bit more of like what I'm doing, a bit more behind the scenes, like working on Frontend Mentor. You never know, you might get some live streams if I can pluck up the courage like Florin. be able to do some live streams of like me actually building some of the Frontend Mentor site, which would be really interesting and really cool. So really great progress on that. Not quite done, but at the same time, hopefully next few days that's going to be out there. But then I'll keep you up to date with things. I'll make these little recordings and stuff just to keep you up to date with my progress. So those are the major things from last month. So first of all, converting all of the designs to Figma files. Next up, increasing the credit limits for the monthly subscribers, pro subscribers, adding a bunch of new resources to the website as well on the resources page. And then also made really good progress on the UI and UX updates. Hopefully I'm aiming to get them up and running at the weekend. It might kind of help having, like, weekend is always slightly lower traffic. So it's always nice to launch, especially like a big thing, like launch it at the weekend for me, because I'm still around and still kind of able to dive on it if anything catches fire, so to speak. But it means slightly lower traffic and I'll be able to sort of roll it out a little bit calmer, hopefully, fingers crossed. Excellent. So next up, I'll dive into what I'll be doing this month. And please do, as I mentioned, ask away any questions that you've got whatsoever. It could be about Frontend Mentor. It could be about your own web development journey or anything like this. Please do just feel free, just dive in, ask questions in the chat, and I will get to them in just a little bit, because this coming month, we're already, nearly a third of the way through the month. And I've just been teaching last week and then this week catching up on everything that I had missed, because those teaching weeks, they really do sort of take a lot out of you. But like we said, now I'm full-time, which is amazing. So this coming month, UI updates, that's going to be this weekend. Like, I'll be focusing on that. And then the next big thing is going to be getting these challenge hubs up and running. And these are the only two things I really want to kind of have on my to-do list this month, because it means that I can just hyper focus on them, make sure that they're up and running by the end of the month. And hopefully we'll see some big UX improvements on the site. So for those of you that don't know, with the challenge hubs, so I've spoken about the UI updates on the dashboard, where we've got like we're going to have more of a Pinteresty kind of layout. With the challenge hubs, they are going to be a central location for each challenge. So at the moment, when you start a challenge, you get given the files and everything, but then you're like very much just off the site, and like completing the challenge. You might dive into Slack if you need some help or something like this. But then also, like, you then finish your challenge and then you come back and you submit your solution. And that's like a bit of a disjointed thing. Like at the moment as well, if you submit your solution, you want to find a solution for a specific challenge, you have to go to the solutions index and just trawl through all of the solutions from lots and lots of different challenges until you find one. And then you never know if it's even going to be a good solution, if you can learn from it or not. So this is a big thing that I want to address. This is the number one feature request from everyone, which is like, please allow me to filter solutions by a challenge. And so at first I thought, yeah, okay, we could just filter by challenge, but it's actually a part of a bigger UX issue, which is essentially the fact that like we don't have this central location for each challenge. So with these hubs, we'll now, like when you start a challenge, you'll then get access to that challenge's hub. So you can only get access to a hub if you've started the challenge yourself. Once you move through to that hub, that's where you're going to be able to download the starter files, download the design files if you're a subscribed member. You'll be able to kind of read the brief again. You'll be able to see how many people have started the challenge and how many people have completed it, and all of these kind of stuff, like just useful, interesting information about the challenge. Then once you've downloaded everything, you'll still go off the site and like Visual Studio Code or whatever just to code it up. But then you'll have this central location where you can come back, you can submit your solution. then once you've submitted your solution, you will be able to see solutions for that specific challenge. And also another feature that we're going to be adding kind of a bit further down the line is we're going to have it split into two. So there's going to be featured solutions, and then there's also going to be latest solutions. Latest is just reverse chronological list of solutions as they get submitted. But then the featured ones, we're going to have a bit of a ranking algorithm with them. And so these are going to be ones that me and a few other people have marked as kind of a good solution. It could be a good solution regardless of the technology. It could be pure HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It could be React or Vue or using Bootstrap or Tailwind or anything like this. But if it's a good solution for that specific challenge, we will kind of feature it. If you get a featured solution, then you'll earn a badge. You'll also get some points towards your mentor score as well. And then your challenge or your solution will get featured in the featured section. And hopefully it will start kind of bubbling up as more and more people start to like it and all of this kind of stuff. So it'll be a bit more sort of ranked on the featured solution side of things. So these hubs, like, this will allow things to become much more extensible in the future, which is exactly what I want. So in these hubs, in the future, not immediately, but in the future, like, my ideas around it, I've got a few. Like, one of them is, for instance, having a Q&A, like questions and answers for each individual challenge in the hub. So that would act as effectively like a mini Stack Overflow. So people can compare their approaches to specific problems within that challenge. So each challenge has very specific issues, like challenges that you need to overcome. Like, it might be positioning of background images, or it might be using like pseudo elements, or absolute positioning, or grid, or anything like this. Everyone will be able to ask questions for that particular challenge. Other people will be able to answer. People will be able to upvote, downvote questions and answers and all this kind of stuff. You'll be like earning points as you do this. And so we'll have like a mini Stack Overflow for each challenge, hopefully without the toxicity. So hopefully everyone will still be the nice, positive, amazing, bubbly community that we've got. And we'll try and leave the toxicity to Stack Overflow. So like, these hubs will be extensible. So like I said, Q&A areas. Like, I've got ideas in the future of being able to set up. So we've got the collabs channel, for instance, for the collaborations in the Slack community. I've got ideas around being able to set up your own collaborations on the platform. So you'd be able to say, like, I'm about to start this challenge. I'm going to be using React and styled components. I want 2 other people on this with me. And maybe in a specific time zone as well, or something like this. And then it would just ping people on the platform who might be interested. And then you can join a collaboration if you want, because collaborations are amazing because they allow you to work in a team and demonstrate teamwork and all of this kind of stuff. So these hubs, these central locations, are going to allow many, many, many more possibilities on a per challenge basis. So very, very excited about those. Hopefully the first version of the hubs, like, that's one of my big aims. Well, my only 2 aims. I got the UI updates and then the hubs for this month. So I want to stay completely focused on that, not get sidetracked with any other like smaller tasks, and just try and make sure that I get those done. So yeah. That's the plan for this month. I hope you're excited about it. Like, give me some feedback. Like, I would love to, as I talk through this stuff, I would absolutely love to hear like your thoughts about hubs and kind of what your just general impressions are on them so far. I've already kind of gone through some wireframes with people, and like, it's all got positive feedback so far. But again, in the Slack community, I'll be like keeping everyone up to date with it and getting lots of feedback and doing kind of usability tests and interviews and all this kind of stuff as well. So, so yeah, now over to you. So I will now dive into the chat. If you haven't asked a question yet and you would like to ask a question, and like I said, it could be about Frontend Mentor, it could be about your own development journey or anything like this. If you want a bit of advice or anything, I will do my best to help you out. So do just feel free to ask questions. So first of all, Andrew Oscar Delta. So first of all, congrats. Thank you very much, Andrew. Really appreciate that. I know you don't want to offer official solutions, but it'd be cool to see a recommended or similar solution to a challenge. That's actually perfect for what I've just been talking about. So yeah, Andrew, that feature is coming. It's not going to be this month, but it is like high up on the priority list. Like I said, we'll have excuse me, we'll have a small team on the platform who will be able to feature solutions. Like as they go through different solutions, they'll be able to mark them as featured solutions or not. And for each challenge within these hubs, you'll be able to see the solutions for a particular challenge. And then when we do launch this feature of the featured solutions, we'll have a featured tab, and then we'll have a latest tab. So you can choose whether you want to like find out what the latest submissions are and dive in there and help people out and give some feedback as well. Or if you just want to dive in and find what we would consider kind of good solutions, then that's great. As you mentioned, like you said, I know that I don't want to offer official solutions, and this is very true because the major reason is there's no one perfect solution. You could do something in like vanilla HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You could do it in React, Vue, Svelte, Angular, Ember. Like you could do it using like Sass, Less, Stylus, Bootstrap, like Tailwind. The list goes on. So if you offered a featured solution, you would very much have to like offer one for all of the different things. Whereas I would prefer to keep it very open to the community. I don't want to offer a official solution that everyone just looks at that one solution. I want people to get used to like reading other people's code and getting used to how other people have implemented the challenge and all of this kind of stuff, because there's so much to be learned by reading other people's code, thinking critically about it. Like, oh, was this actually a good approach that they took, or could they have improved? If they could have improved and you've realized that, then dive into the comments and help that person out, and then like give back and kind of help them improve. Because there's so much that you can learn by reviewing other people's code, reading other people's code, and then also talking about code with other people on the platform as well. So I wanted to keep it very open so that people can find solutions for other challenges. But I completely agree that at the moment it's very, very tricky. And so this is like one of the big things that we're going to be changing very, very soon. So yeah, and then your next comment, you basically said exactly, you're reading my mind, which is absolutely brilliant. So I hope that you're going to be excited about that feature. Okay, KR Sharath, would like to see you on a weekly basis on YouTube. Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Make videos about concepts of CSS, mini series, that kind of stuff. Yeah, like this is something kind of I would like to do. It's just being a content creator. If Florin is still in the chat, like if Florin's still in the chat, I'm sure he'll have a lot better like insights to me. But being a content creator, it takes up so much time. And for me, at the moment, especially, I want to focus my time on building Frontend Mentor into the right platform for all of you. And so building it into a platform where you can take these challenges, you can talk about code with each other, you can set up collaborations, you can ask and answer questions, you can learn by doing, learn by building, and all of this kind of stuff. And so my content creation at the moment is like just evolving the platform, helping on the community side. I want to get more strategic on the community side to start maybe bringing in experts for different topics and like having interviews and all this kind of stuff. It will be a little while if I ever do like dive in on the actual sort of YouTube side of things. It will be a little while because I'm so focused on actually just building on the Frontend Mentor side and being in the community and everything. I want to stay focused on that rather than doing both of them kind of half-heartedly in a way. So yeah, but that's great. It's a good sign that you want to see those videos. That's brilliant to hear. It is something that I would love to do. And also, if it's not just me as well, like building up the Frontend Mentor YouTube channel, and like building all of this stuff up, but maybe just beyond me as well, because I don't want me to be a bottleneck. Like either I'm creating content on YouTube or I'm sort of working on the platform. So yeah, but definitely stuff around video is something that I'm definitely thinking about. So thank you very much for that that comment, Sharath. Mark, so Mark Tripney, hey Mark, so you're saying, could you make a feature request? You definitely can. It would be fascinating to see an experienced developer work through a project or talk about how they approach it. Not all projects, one a month by community vote. Angela's saying that's a great idea. This is something that I've been thinking about a lot. And yeah, I don't want to sort of give too much away with it. This is like something that I'm kind of having a lot of thoughts about at the moment. Let's just say it's definitely top of mind, Mark. So do expect something along those lines. I definitely keep my cards close to my chest just at the moment, because it's still very much in the seed like idea phase. But I've got some really exciting, like at least I'm excited about these thoughts around that kind of thing. So yeah, like seeing people like Florin and Jessica Chan and Kevin Powell and these amazing developers taking on Frontend Mentor challenges, it's definitely been incredible to see them use the challenges for part of their content, and it's definitely something that I'm thinking about. So watch this space. Excellent. So yeah, and see how people would approach it live, and everything. Yeah, that's really interesting thoughts. So that's great. And yeah, with the collaborations, yeah, we could do sort of set up something for pair programming. We could see what it could be along the lines of just recommending tools and things. We might not necessarily build something in for paired programming, but given enough time, you never know. Excellent. And very interesting. Kayam, it would be great if we could get sizes and measurements for the free challenges. So this is, I mean, the sizes and measurements and everything they're in the design file if you're a pro member. Like with this, it's like you've got so there are tools where you can measure the screen and things like this. As free challenges, you've got the JPEG design, so you could put them up to 100%. Use those sort of free like measurement tools. I happily sort of recommend some as well, to figure out sizes and stuff like that. Using the JPEGs is definitely going to be a bit slower than using the original design files. Like, and if you're a paid like subscribed member, the main reason why it sort of needs to be a bit more like this is just I want to provide as much value as possible to anyone who wants to use the platform for free. We're always going to have free challenges. I'm always going to be putting them out on a sort of regular basis. But for this to be a successful like project, there needs to be a sort of business model behind it, because I need to be able to, like now, for instance, now I'm able to go full time on it, which is like super exciting. I can't wait to just continue building this as much as possible. But if sort of everything was given away for free, like there has to be a moment where you have to sort of move over to a subscription if you want that real experience. So so yeah, it's a tricky one, because I hate like I hate sort of gatekeeping some content, but at the same time, if this is going to be a viable business and a sustainable business that I can work on for the long time and really keep on adding as much value as possible to build the community up and the platform up as much as possible, then there needs to be a sort of a sustainable business model to it. And that part of the business model is, if you want the original designs with all of those measurements, with all of the details and absolutely everything, saves you time when you're building as well, then you can subscribe as a paid member. But if you want to be a free member on the site, that's absolutely fine. You'll be able to get by with the JPEGs. It might just take a little bit more time, kind of figuring out the sizes and doing the side-by-side comparisons and this kind of stuff. So Angela, I think the Challenge Hub is a great feature to add. The feedback I've received from members on the website and Slack have been tremendously helpful for effectively refactoring my code. That's amazing to hear. Yeah, there's so many people are sort of stepping up now in the platform and becoming these real sort of mentor figures on the platform, which is absolutely incredible. So it's great to see people getting the feedback that they want to get. Now that I'm full-time as well, I'll be one of those people sort of diving in, moving up. I've been kind of a little bit too low down on the leaderboard lately. So I'll be hopefully challenging Apple Pie Giraffe. Maybe he's on another level. He's unbelievably helpful to people. But yeah, I'll be on there a lot more as well. So Mark Tripney is saying, yeah, learned more about Flex Grid with one challenge completed than I had previously. The more open approach, go and do this, is exactly what I've been needing. That's amazing to hear. Yeah, it's incredible how building projects and actually stumbling a little bit and coming across these issues are that's a great way to learn. You have to Google your way out of it. You have to read like CSS tricks articles and Stack Overflow posts and all of this kind of stuff. That's great to hear, Mark. I'm really, really happy to hear that you've kind of had a good first challenge and hopefully many, many more as well. Angela, it would be great to have some tutorials, special workshops on CSS. As a semi-newbie, it has been tricky using things like CSS, Flexbox, and Grid. This is another thing that I've been kind of thinking about, and this is one of the major reasons why, like, I still have like the resources page up there with because you got things like Wes Boz's CSS Grid tutorial and like what the Flexbox tutorial and stuff like that, like amazing free resources. And for the time being, it's kind of very much focused on like helping you build projects and giving you the tools to build the project. But for the tutorials at the moment, at least, I'm very much kind of, here are some great resources like Wes Boz and all this kind of stuff. You never know, might kind of move into like doing some tutorials at some point. But at the moment, the core thing about Frontend Mentor is like you learn by doing. And if you haven't got the theory yet, then very much like we recommend things like Free Code Camp or Wes Boz or these other amazing resources. Like Free Code Camp is just an unbelievably helpful resource, and Wes Boz is such a talented instructor that, to be honest, like I wouldn't be able to provide much added value at the moment beyond that. And the added value with Frontend Mentor is the challenges and like providing these professional designs to get you hands-on and doing it. But like there's definitely this learning part to it as well, a bit more structure that I've definitely got that in my mind. So thank you very much for that comment, Angela. I'll be kind of I'm still thinking about all of that stuff as well. And Mark was saying, sorry, what was the collaborative aspect of the Challenge Hubs? Don't want to repeat yourself, but is the idea that we can put a call out for others to buddy up with on projects? Yeah, that's essentially it. And so this is me kind of giving a bit of a sneak peek as to what I'm thinking. There's no timeline on this. Like I haven't started wireframing or doing the full on like ideation process with it. But with the hubs being extensible, this is what it will, the type of things that it will allow for. So yeah, I'd love it if someone came on and was like, if someone could come on and be like, I'm starting this challenge. I'm going to use just HTML and Sass. And I would like to have one partner on this who's at a similar level and blah, blah, blah. And then pings out that message and people would just be able to join that collaboration. And then once you do that, then once you submit your solution, it will come up with the solution author as the two of you, as opposed to you two needing to submit the same solution twice. If you've collaborated on one, it will allow you to kind of include your collaborators when you submit the solution. Then it will give credit to both of you at the same time. And that will also give you a way to then go to recruiters and hiring managers and be able to say, like, look, I've worked on these projects in teams. This is like proof that I can kind of work collaboratively on a project, and I've got these skills. So yeah, that's exactly kind of the idea behind it, Mark. But like I said, no timeline on it, but this is something that's kind of in my mind, and something that at some point next year, again, don't want to sort of commit to anything too much with it, but this is definitely kind of something next year I'd love to add. Awesome. So Justin, just found this last night. Classmates shared it in Flatiron. Amazing. That's always incredible to hear. I love the whole idea. Thanks for creating this. Thank you for stopping in and making that comment, Justin. That's made my day. That's really, really, really kind. Great to hear that people are sharing it in sort of the Flatiron Slack resource. Awesome. So Sebastian, I assume it will be GitHub. This is one way I know. Angela. Oh, okay. So Angela, you've just come across the resources page. Hopefully that helps you out. Yeah, there's just loads and loads of resources there. And like I said, this is actually how Frontend Mentor started, because when I was teaching my course at General Assembly, which I no longer teach, like I was constantly writing the same list over and over again, like of resources that I found useful. So I just wanted to put a project up online. And so I decided to put this resource list up. So that's literally how Frontend Mentor started, was just this resource list, but it's so useful to have up there as well for people that it's going to stay up there. So hopefully you find those resources useful. Bunch of free ones. There's some paid ones as well, but with the paid ones, it's very much kind of, I'm only sort of recommending them as something that I know will be good, or I've gone through it myself. So yeah, hopefully you like that. Glad you like the idea of the collaboration stuff, Mark. That's amazing. This is Che. Could you do more challenges with JavaScript? Yeah, I mean, the majority of our challenges do have JavaScript, and you can choose to use as much or as little JavaScript, even in the ones that don't. Like you could, if it's just a HTML and CSS one, but a layout, you could still practice patterns like component-based build, like component-driven development, like all of this kind of stuff where you're using React and things like that. So you can use as much JavaScript in these projects as possible as you want. But at the same time, there are, like, I'm going to be adding more kind of app style challenges in the future as well. And also things like, well, the next premium challenge, which is or the next free challenge that comes out this week is going to be a countdown timer. So that's going to be very JavaScript heavy. Like a launch countdown timer, for instance, you'll be able to put like little flip animations on there if you want. And also then next week's premium challenge is going to be a Pomodoro timer as well. And the Pomodoro timer, you'll be able to change the settings. You'll be playing around with local storage. There's going to be you can change like between 3 different color themes. You'll be able to choose between 3 different fonts in settings as well. So there'll be lots of nice little JavaScript challenges in there. So yeah, but these kind of JavaScript challenges, more interactive based challenges, I will definitely be adding more of them. But like I said, with any challenge, you can actually add kind of as much JavaScript as you want, even if it is, just a HTML and CSS one. If you want to practice something like React or Vue or something like that, just to practice building in components, you can 100% do that. So yeah, amazing. Alex, excited about the new UI and hubs. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Alex. I hope to do so. And I'll keep you all the more updated as well. Now that I've got this Loom video recording subscription as well, whenever I'm sort of building like a new feature or something like this, I'll give you little sneak previews and all this kind of thing in the Slack. Keep you all a bit more updated. Amazing. I hope you've all really, really enjoyed this stream. And as I said at the beginning, so excited to now be on Frontend Mentor full time. Can't wait to kind of keep pushing this forward and even at a faster rate as well, and just make it as good as possible and help you all out as much as possible. So yeah, thanks for stopping in. See you again next month. Take care. Bye.